Hey, everybody. Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show, without Mike Davis. So he must know something that I don't know because he left the country and he left me to hold down the fort. So good luck, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm excited to introduce you. Well, welcome back. A frequent guest. We know him. We love him. Can't wait to start talking to him, but I got to make some money first. So, Abear, Kresge and Associates, they are a full-service local CPA firm with a team of skilled professionals dedicated to providing a top-level service in areas of tax compliance, planning for businesses, individuals, estates, and trusts. They do audits, reviews, and other accounting services. They do business valuations, forensic analysis, and litigation support. You can reach them at 904-460-0747 or online at abearkresgecpa.com. The team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to serve you in St. Augustine: State Road 312, State Road 16, or the beach. You can also find them online at southstatebank.com. They are a member FDIC. We've got Solar Stick. They were established in 2006. Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, their dedication to customer service has been evident in everything they do for the 39 years they've been a locally owned business here in St. Augustine. From the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home, they are working to make sure you are comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. With their fleet of 10-plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they are ready to serve you around the clock. We service all heating and air conditioning brands, they say. Their emergency service is always open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays. Check out Powell Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and air needs. And that's it. We made the money. So now I've got the Bozard Ford community update. We had the Colonel on, and he told us all about the Veterans Day celebrations. So the St. Johns County Veterans Day celebration in 2004 is going to be Monday, November 11th at Anastasia Baptist Church. Their keynote speaker is our very own Robert A. Hardwick, St. Johns County Sheriff. Their doors open at 9 a.m. The program begins at 11 a.m. They have the portable wall honoring veterans that served in the war. Their theme this year is Salute to the Gulf War, Desert Shield, Desert Storm veterans. So check out the Veterans Day celebration at Anastasia Baptist Church, Monday, November 11th at 9 a.m. Doors open. Program begins at 11 a.m. It's going to be a very reverent, I want to say celebration, but honoring ceremony. It's really a beautiful ceremony, so you should totally check that out. We do have a friend of the show who's back in studio. Thank you, Townsend, for coming.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here, too. You're so excited. I've seen you a lot in the past week, huh?
What's not to be excited about?
I know. I mean, anytime you get to see 100% Dad, then that's a pretty big deal.
On my birthday.
On your birthday. I bought you cupcakes.
That was nice. You didn't make them.
I did not make them.
Could have made them.
I did not.
Would have made them more special.
It would have.
Would have made them taste better.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
I didn't. Next time I just won't get any at all.
Oh, that would be disappointing.
All right. So maybe don't talk trash.
Sorry.
Beggars can't be choosers. You didn't bring a cake.
I did not. I was not expecting one.
And I hosted a party for you.
Kinda. You were hosting the party anyway.
I totally did it just for your birthday.
Just crashed it.
No. You were
continuing
in the planning.
You were continuing on a party that I created. An annual celebration.
So that was like 5 years ago. You threw yourself a birthday party.
Yes.
That we helped with.
Yes.
And then you tricked me into moving in the neighborhood and you left.
These are all true.
Yes. Then you left us. And so
said we'll be back.
Yeah.
And then
never came back. For sure.
These are all true statements.
You needed us in the neighborhood to make sure that your brother-in-law didn't trash your house while you were gone.
Basically.
Until you decided to sell it to him.
Yeah. Now he's taking really good care of it.
He's taking really good care of it.
He did not do that while he was renting it.
When he's got some equity in it, that's a different story.
Yeah, it mattered a whole lot more.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the equity or the fiance that changed his opinion about household maintenance.
Maintenance, I would say the equity, the decor, and all the decorating and prettiness factor, that is 100% the fiance.
What is hilarious is he started dating the fiance when all of your family pictures were still on the wall.
That is probably weird for her.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Not for you. You weren't there.
Shoot, my pictures are still on some of the walls. It is.
Your family.
Should probably go get my stuff out.
That's been 5 years in the making.
We'll get there eventually.
Eventually. Well, you need like your own place.
We don't do cut and dry. We do murky and weird.
Yeah. It's like the slowest Irish exit ever.
I don't know what an Irish exit is.
So an Irish exit is when you just don't say anything and you just disappear. You're famous for these because at said party 5 years ago that you started for your birthday, we're all sitting around the fire and suddenly realized you weren't there and you hadn't been for a while, and we found you asleep in your house.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, you just don't say goodbye.
Well, y'all stay up so late.
What are you talking
People stay up too late on things. Parties should really not last past 9.
Yeah.
10 at the latest. Like New Year's, can't do it. Midnight, that's ridiculous. Wake me up. I go, woohoo.
Although you and your wife did make sure I wasn't alone at midnight on New Year's once.
Was I sleeping?
No, you were not. You were not sleeping. You were awake.
Oh, well, that's a rare occurrence. I
didn't have to kiss your wife.
Well,
and I made sure you knew that you were off the hook. You didn't have to kiss us both.
She usually wakes me up within like 10 minutes of midnight striking, so she can get that much desired kiss.
Yeah. Well, of course, because it's you, right?
Well, it's only once a year.
You only kiss her once a year?
Once a year.
Okay.
That's it.
How'd you manage them 3 kids, buddy?
No comment.
Is that in your book? Wild. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
We've got a happy birthday to you.
Oh, to me. Thank you.
Yeah. How old are you?
30-something still.
30-something still? Annoying. Still in your 30s.
Gonna be for a while.
What's that like?
Amazingly, I get hurt a whole lot more than I used to.
Yeah.
I was just saying the other, I opened up the window and I tore my bicep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get out of bed wrong, twist an ankle.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And then it takes 3 days to heal.
You can go to sleep fine and you wake up hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neck crinks, weird shoulder issues. It's bizarre. The body shouldn't fall apart in the 30s. That's for old people in like their 130s. Not this young.
Not this young. You're so young.
What's going on? Tom Brady was still playing professional football at age 52.
You know what RFK Jr. would say?
No.
Big Pharma. Yeah, it would sound like that. Big Pharma and our food. That's why. That's why you're falling apart.
But I don't do pharma. I do food.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
I mean,
copious amounts of food.
It happens.
Yeah. But relatively healthy.
But make it homemade or else they'll trash talk you to the whole town.
Yes. If you're going to make me a birthday dessert, homemade.
Okay.
Now you know.
Now I know.
My mom set the standard. Ryan carried it on. And you broke it.
Well, I'll just never do it again.
Okay. She did make me a cake, though.
Yeah.
At home.
Just not on your birthday.
A socket to me cake.
What is that? She said it on Halloween, and I just thought she had one too many.
Made
buckets.
with real socks, used, not fresh.
Yeah.
So
2 of them.
She has a cake book from her grandmother. It's got like 1,000 different cakes in it, and all of us, every birthday of the kids, we just go through and look, and we pick one out, and she makes them, and it has notes from her grandma in there about whether it was a good cake or a bad cake, or what she did to make it different, or if it was a hit at the garden party. So this particular one is kind of like a variation of like a cinnamon coffee cake kind of thing. It had like a glaze over it. It had like some pecans in the middle. It was, kind of that donut shaped cake, which is not the way you should.
A bundt cake.
A bundt cake.
Yeah.
It was really good. It had like sour cream and yellow cake base to it. It was very good. I was happy with it.
Yeah.
Not overly sweet, but moist.
I'm out. I can't do coffee.
It's not made with coffee.
Coffee cakes have no coffee. Cinnamon.
So a coffee cake. So coffee cakes are like a cinnamon crumb cake kind of.
Okay. So like a spiced cake that you would have with coffee,
but no spice.
Cinnamon's a spice.
Yeah. So it's
How white are you?
About as white as you get. Also, zero pop culture references.
Yeah.
Anything trendy I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I make for an entertaining guest.
I'm so excited that we're talking headlines today.
Like, oh, fun facts I didn't know about.
So if you know and Townsend doesn't, drop it in the comments. So we have a frequent co-host. Our Wednesday co-host is Levi Moore, and his brother is a streamer, very famous streamer. And so Levi manages his business and, deals with all the business end of being a famous internet streamer.
Why is he a frequent guest and I am just this random occasionally?
Because he's on every Wednesday, except when he has some business conflict that happened last.
Listen, I can make my schedule available 5 days a week.
Yeah. We're not on 5 days a week.
Well, I could be.
You'll sit alone in here on Friday. We're not on Fridays.
Sorry.
So Levi got an email that he sent us a picture of, and it was kind of wild. It was the Kamala Harris campaign reaching out because they had created their very own map, their very own playable area in a video game called Fortnite. Do you know what Fortnite is?
My kids know what Fortnite is.
Okay, yeah. I don't play the video games, so I know that it exists. So I'm trying to find it. It was
Do you have a picture of this map?
DNC.org was the organization that had emailed Levi, and he sent us his answer to them, which I cannot say on the air or because my kids might see it, and it's not a word that we can say.
Ooh,
but
which one? Which one can we not say, though?
It starts with an F. So don't say that one. Write it down. Don't say that one. All right.
Fun.
It's not that one.
Okay.
So the Kamala Harris campaign released a Fortnite map, and they wanted large-scale video game streamers to play this map, live stream them playing this map, and just talk about how amazing it was, and maybe say nice words about Kamala Harris. And Levi had a very succinct answer that he was asking for our advice as to whether he should hit the send button, and it was go fornicate yourself. I mean, Fortnite.
Fornicate, yes, maybe.
Yes.
That's what he.
Yeah. That's
He
not
could
the
have
word
said.
he used, but that's the word I'm going to say.
Okay.
And I thought that was very succinct. So Fortnite is a multiplayer game. It's an open world environment. You're battling other characters who are either controlled by the program of the game or just other players. So you're in this sort of open map. It can be a single player or a cooperative game. And your whole deal is you've got to save the world. This involves fighting zombie-like creatures. The most popular mode is the standalone free-played mode. There's a lot that you can do with Fortnite as far as you can make your character. You can, well, the world exists. You can build your own character within it.
You can build stuff within the world.
You can build stuff within the world.
It's almost like Sims-ish.
Sort of, but more violent.
And better, probably.
So it's not only building.
Okay.
It's you're traveling through the world and you're manipulating the world to try and save it from these zombie-like creatures that are fighting you.
Got it.
If you know Fortnite better than me and have a better explanation, drop it in the comments. So
now what was the map of? Do we know?
The Kamala Harris map it's Freedom Town, USA. Right? Sounds great. Sounds like a place that we might all want to be. Freedom Town, USA.
Sounds like Trump came up with the name.
So what's hilarious about this is an official Harris Walls campaign promo within Fortnite. Zero self-awareness on this campaign. Because between the two candidates, between Harris and Trump, who would you say is well, let's ask it this way. When you think freedom, what do you think? What do you think?
Like politically?
Just the word freedom in a world. What does that world look like? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Like libertarian style.
So libertarian style. So free speech. Can you carry weapons? Full Bill of Rights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Property
Well,
rights, gosh, you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
yeah.
No taxes.
So, do you want to know the rules of Freedom Town, USA?
Probably a
Kamala
lot of
Harris's
rules.
Fortnite map. So, Fortnite is a
No
game
hate
where
speech.
you're supposed to save the world by fighting zombie-like characters. Do you think weapons would be useful
weapons.
against zombies? Yeah, they took away the guns
Okay.
in the Fortnite map. So, you're not allowed to use guns against zombies to secure Freedom Town. Okay. They also don't allow free speech.
Do the zombies overrun Freedom Town?
I don't even
like. How do you?
I don't even know. I don't even know if there's zombies.
I mean,
like,
I get you could build a wall, but that's against the campaigns.
there would have to be a wall to keep the guns out, especially in Fortnite. The whole point is that you're shooting stuff.
Right,
It's
no guns,
ridiculous.
No guns, but there are zombies.
Yes.
Do your best.
All right. So we've got the breakdown on Not the Bee is they use 3-letter federal agencies to silence you if you express opinions that are not approved. So you can't so I told Levi that he should go into Freedom Town, USA dressed like with a character that looks like Trump in a MAGA hat with a Trump flag. And they did not allow the modifications that you can normally do in Fortnite, because you can normally design and modify your characters however you want. That is not allowed. So you're not allowed to build what you're used to building. Like you can't build things and change Freedom Town, USA. So the things that you normally do in Fortnite,
they probably have a process where you can, but you need to get a permit, but you can't get a permit ever.
So there's like a regulatory situation where you have to go through and it has to be approved.
Somebody that made the rules, and then you can.
Yeah, I mean, I've got someone you can talk to if you want to talk about planning and zoning stuff. So what the heck? How did they think this was going to go for them? Like, this is instantly a meme. I mean, look at this. This is so cheesy looking. Look at this goober. Like, he's supposed to be this. I'm so buff and I'm got a very strong chin line, but there are no guns, lots of hot air balloons. I'm pretty sure it's a no-fly zone over New York City.
Can we see how many people have settled into Freedom
So
Town?
what I want to see is the number, like the peak concurrent players. And I don't think it's in this, but I can look it up. Wait. According to Fortnite GG website, which tracks popularity of the maps, a maximum of 383 players have used the Harris Freedom Town, USA map over the first 24-hour period that it was released.
How many? I wasn't paying attention.
383.
Million? 1,000?
It just says...
Oh, 383.
Yeah, 383
that's
in
like
24
the people
hours.
on the staff that built the game. They're just logging in to check to see how...
Those are the staffers. Yeah, those are the Harris Walls staffers playing.
That's not good.
So here's the other thing. Walls did a couple of video game streams.
Okay.
He didn't play...
With this game?
He didn't play Fortnite, Harris Walls, Freedom Town, USA. He played Madden. And he and AOC ended Madden with a 0-0 score because
that's fair.
She runs a mean pick 6, according to him. So that's what he said. The football coach said she runs a mean pick 6.
On 0-0?
Yeah.
Final score?
Uh-huh.
I might want to teach him what that means.
Yeah, well, he's a football coach. So, like...
Listen, well, at what level?
He said his whole thing is, I'm Coach Walls. Turns out he was never head coach. He was assistant coach.
You could be a Pop Warner coach. And
I think it was high school.
Pass a background check.
I think his thing was high school. Put it in the comments, guys, if you know what level he was a coach. He should know, right? I mean, let's see. Tim Walls, coach.
Maybe his coaching resume is about as strong as his wartime.
It says high school.
Wartime resume.
Well, because everyone's calling him Coach Walls. He even has signs, Coach Walls. In his gamer streaming setup, there's a sign that says Coach Walls in the shot, as well as a Mountain Dew.
Speaking of coaches.
Oh, yeah? What do we got here?
We got a Crimson and Gold banquet coming up.
Oh, when is that happening?
Flagler Saints? I don't know.
Oh, no?
I looked it up. I think it was mid-November. But they got Coach Spurrier, who sold his house he used to have here. Stoops is going to be there.
Yeah.
Flutie's going to be there. Mark Brunell, Bobby Bowden, unless this is like last year's or something.
I don't think
People,
so.
when
Is
you
there a
make
date on it?
when you make flyers,
Oh man,
make them with more detail, and then I'll
what are you
know.
talking about?
The Paz, the
Crimson and
linebacker,
Gold
Paul Kozlowski.
2024, November 21st, Embassy Suites, St. Augustine
There you go.
Beach.
So if you want to support our good
6 p.m.
hometown athletics, Flagler College, Ken Griffey Sr.,
Yeah.
Bobby Bowden, Mark Brunell.
That's an illustrious
It's
list
actually a pretty
of guests.
solid lineup.
Yeah,
I know Coach Wiles must have put this together because he knows everybody.
he does.
And he's over there at Flagler now.
But we've established that we know nobody. We know each other though.
Well, we were speaking of coaches. I had there was a parallel
Yes,
connection.
I saw that. That was
tie-in. This is what you do
pretty
in the radio
impressive.
business.
I like it. That was an excellent segue.
Or is this show business? Is this TV?
This
Is this radio? I
podcasting.
don't know what we are.
Podcast.
A vlog?
We're a podcast.
Okay. But seen on video.
Yes.
Okay. A video podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Those exist.
Welcome.
I'm glad you know what we're doing now.
Well,
Good gracious. All right. Speaking of the Harris Walls campaign, Kamala Harris went on SNL. Did you watch it?
no.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh no.
It's terrible.
SNL is usually funny.
But what's hilarious about it is that NBC, like super last minute, invites her on SNL.
Okay.
And it's an FCC violation is what is now being,
What's the violation?
because it's not equal time. They refuse to have Trump on. And they not only, so they're supposed to file paperwork if they're going to have a candidate on.
NBC.
And they didn't file a paperwork until after a complaint was
Nothing's gonna happen.
filed. It's, man, NBC is like dug themselves a hole
Did you
this
see that
election.
60 Minutes deal where
Yes.
like they edited the footage?
So I saw that pop up on my phone and I watched it because I was like, I want to see
if it's
like,
real.
no, I just wanted to see the interview.
Oh.
I wanted to see if she could answer the questions and if she could actually follow a thought all the way from start to finish on the question.
Well, those who don't know, they were editing answers to other questions and
So I
rearranging
watched the
how
original.
it's done.
I watched the original release of it, and then it got edited after I watched it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what's wild. So they asked her a question about conflict in the Middle East, and she gave this mumble. She took us on a little journey to nowhere and never answered the question.
In high school, the coaches called that word vomit.
Yeah,
Or
there's a
teachers,
lot
word vomit.
of word vomit in this
It's just
election
saying
cycle.
things.
Yeah, you're just making noise
Yeah.
with your mouth. You're not actually.
But nothing's going to happen
explaining
from that either.
anything.
There's no consequences.
Well, so they're getting
there's,
sued.
There's only consequences if you own a little squirrel.
That's somewhere else we
Not
can
if
go
you
to.
commit major FTC violations.
Well, so Trump's suing. So who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if anything comes of that.
He's suing for like billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because it's fraud. And it should be campaign interference. Because you have an interview, you put out the interview, the initial clips aren't playing well. They show that people aren't responding positively to this mumble bus of a journey to nowhere answer. And so they edit it and re-release the video. Like, that's not
it's
even
deceitful for sure.
Well, that's my question. Like, do you remember an election where there's been more just blatant dishonesty? Like, provable blatant dishonesty.
Elections don't even make sense to me anymore. I was just thinking, remember when my first vote was the Bush Kerry 2004.
Yeah.
And so that season of politics, everyone was calling Bush an idiot because he didn't speak smart. He didn't speak good. And like, if you go back and watch those clips right now, like they both sound like geniuses compared to how everybody talks now.
Current political
Right?
discourse.
It's like, nothing matters. It's a bizarre world we live in now. It's strange. Like, and like the whole deficit, like no one talks about the deficit anymore. Like it's not even like making government smaller used to be such a big thing and spending less. It's not even a talking point for either side anymore.
Except that I have heard the Democrats in this cycle talk about how Trump ran up the deficit.
Yeah, and he did.
Trump's had to answer for that.
And so did Obama. And so did Bush. And all for every presidential cycle before them, they just go ahead and double it.
So
they're all spending like crazy.
Trump's answer for that was that he was reinvesting in American manufacturing and the economy was getting stronger and stronger. And so if he had had a fourth year without that thing we're not allowed to talk about that happened in 2020, then that would have taken care of the deficit that he added.
Yeah.
So that's his answer. Who freaking knows? I just know I could afford stuff.
I
could afford stuff under Donald Trump, and now I can't afford anything. Bobby's saying SNL hasn't been funny since before we were born. When John Belushi, Chevy Chase, he was only on for one season. I know that. I watched those seasons on Nick at Night when I was a kid, so I know those were funny seasons.
So this is a different generation. I only see the highlights, like the funny parts, like they come across like social media things. I don't watch a show. I don't watch the show, but
it's on too late.
I don't know. That whole Palin thing of like I can see Russia from my house was pretty funny. So.
Yeah. What's wild though is people thought Palin actually said that.
No, of course. Well, Tina Fey was a dead ringer for her. I mean,
well, that just
she
shows
passed pretty.
That shows a certain level of disengagement with reality if you think that was a Sarah Palin quote and not a Tina Fey quote.
Those are our voters.
I'm not happy with that. I'm not okay. And I would disagree with you, Bobby. SNL was funny during the Adam Sandler and
Chris Farley,
Snyder,
David, those guys were funny.
Norm Macdonald, David Spade. I mean,
McDonald was before them, but yeah.
Norm Macdonald was so funny.
Sandler's funny. I know.
I didn't get Norm Macdonald as a child, so I watched those episodes live as a child, and I was just like, man, this dude. And as an adult watching the Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald back, dude, he's hilarious.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I had to grow into Norm Macdonald's humor.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up.
Are you kidding?
You're that old.
Dude, you're such a child.
I know who he is.
Why do I have you on, dude?
I know who he is.
So anyway, SNL, if you look up that clip, it's terrible.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't even know who it is that's doing Kamala Harris. Maya Rudolph, I think, is doing Kamala Harris. And she's like, it's set up that she's got to like center herself before something. So she sits down at her dressing room mirror and the reflection is actually Kamala Harris. And then they like pep talk each other. And then they get up and they're like hugging. And it's like, well, I just can't wait to vote for us on November 5th. And it's like, it was a full-on commercial.
So
it was a commercial. Okay. No, it was just an endorsement. SNL endorses Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is like, you don't happen to be a registered voter in Pennsylvania, are you? And she's like, no, I'm not. She's like, we're at the shot. That was it.
Sorry.
Although, well, I didn't mention the like 30 seconds of it where they were just making words end in Allah. Oh. So like watch a Christmas movie, Allah, because Kamala.
How's she doing in the polls?
It's terrible. So she had a little bit of a bounce over the weekend on the Real Clear Politics.
We vote soon, don't we?
Well, you voted already. I know this because you text me instead of looking at Vicky Oaks' amazing
normal location
website.
Wasn't open.
Well, because it's never open for early voting.
I drive past the other one, the main one, all the time. But I'm like, I got to go all the way to the mainland.
So she had a little bit of a bump over the weekend in the polls, but now they're at a tie in the Real Clear Politics average.
With what?
And that's
either way.
That's national poll. So that's popular vote. Yeah. When you look at the battlegrounds, that's a whole different story. Trump's up 0.9% in the battlegrounds. So he's leading in the polls in all battlegrounds except for Wisconsin and Michigan. So Arizona, he's up 2.7. Nevada, he's up a point. Then in Pennsylvania, he's up 0.3. North Carolina, 1.5. Georgia, he's up 1.7.
I would love to spend the day with a pollster.
Yeah.
Like, are they old school
Right.
calling it? Are they just standing outside the voting centers? Like, I want to know, because I want to know how they're actually getting their data.
So I've gotten texts. For the first time in my life, I've gotten texts from pollsters trying to get my opinion.
So I've gotten those too.
Allegedly. I don't know if it's phishing or if it's a real poll.
That's true.
So I'm not answering it. I don't click links.
Click this link.
Yeah. I don't click links
give
in
you a
email
gift card, though.
and text. Nothing.
Always click the link. That's
Unless I know you personally and I know that you're not personally trying to corrupt me, I don't click links. So there's like 6 people I click links.
Now I know how to get you. Next April Fools.
Look at that face. I'm not clicking a link from that dude. Never. So what I'll do if I'm curious about it and I don't know if it's a legit link is I'll read the website address and then I'll Google. So if it's like,
you can fake that.
If it's like Rasmussen Pollster EDU, then I'll Google what's the website for Rasmussen pollsters and see if it matches.
Do you give them fake data?
If it doesn't match,
them,
then I
the
wouldn't click it.
opposite vote. Oh, so you never participated.
I don't.
You don't go to the website and then participate.
No.
Okay.
No.
I know if you're giving them false data.
I'm not.
Because I would do that.
Yeah.
Just to mess with people.
So you would intentionally give people. So that's the argument. Sure. Is that.
Who'd you vote for? Norm Macdonald.
Jill Stein. I'm a Jill Stein voter. Yeah, that's the argument about Democrats answer the poll, honestly, and Republicans largely don't.
Oh, because we're a dishonest group?
Well, because we don't want negative ramifications from our answer. I don't want to go on record saying who we voted for. Except for the people that show up on this show.
Not me, just you.
Yeah.
Just you.
I'm a woman. You're a soulless ginger. Good luck. You've been very mean to me.
Pretty sure that's
I invited you and you've been very mean to me. So
I said one mean thing.
You alluded to one of our other stories. So in New York, you can violate FCC regulations, but evidently you can't rescue a newborn squirrel that
I did mention that. I slid that under the carpet. Also, you just committed a hate crime by referring to my hair's ethnicity.
You're not a race. You're a genetic mutant. You're not a race.
Huh. Offended.
Did you know that?
I don't have a good answer for this.
Red hair is a mutation of a gene.
That makes us a culture group.
We'll go with that. So Peanut the squirrel was rescued as a baby squirrel by an amateur wildlife rescue organization. This is not the only wildlife critter that had been rehabbed by this couple.
Okay.
They had like rescue horses. They had a rescue raccoon. They had various wildlife.
An amateur rescuer. It sounds like they just had a couple animals.
So they are a nonprofit. They do accept donations.
Oh.
So they're legit enough that they have their nonprofit status. They accept donations to help fund the care of these rescue animals.
I'm not sure you can use the word amateur then.
Okay.
Tell them.
You just did.
Call them back and tell them.
I'm just telling you what I've been told.
Professional means you're getting paid for it. Just
I didn't go investigate.
Mean...
Well, they're not getting paid.
Yeah, but they're fundraising if they're a nonprofit.
They just need help paying for it. But I mean, I have a friend who, she and her husband built their home themselves over the course of a few years. Mm-hmm. And their lot was empty for so long that they realized there's like a feral cat colony on their lot. And she didn't just like round them all up.
What's a group of cats called?
Are you questioning the collective noun of cats?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Ask Jeeves.
Rather than, I used to use that.
Why
I'm
not?
that old.
Got to fight against big tech.
Collective. I tried to open it.
Listen, support Ask Jeeves.
I tried to open it not too long ago, and it goes somewhere, but it doesn't. It's not Ask Jeeves anymore. Collective noun for cats.
That's a shame. Ask Jeeves was the best.
It was great. All right, you ready?
Yes.
A clouder.
I told you. It
a
wasn't
clutter.
A colony.
A cluster. A glaring. and a pounce.
A glaring sounds and a pounce. Those sound good.
Yeah. So they had a pounce of cats, feral cats, on their
Not
property.
a colony.
Not a colony.
Was that you or was that this whoever wrote this?
I was paraphrasing.
Amateur article.
I'm just giving you a amateur wildlife rehabber story.
Okay, from an amateur podcaster.
From someone
who doesn't use the right words for a collection of cats. A pounce.
Do you want me to tell you the story?
I want you to invite me back.
Okay, well then you should probably shut your mouth. So you were saying because they accept money, they're no longer amateurs. So I have friends that built a house on a property that was infested with cats, and those cats, they didn't want to kick off their property. They didn't want them to be endangered in any way, so they didn't want to send them to a shelter that might harm them if they didn't get adopted. And so they've taken on the care of these feral cats, because not all of them, some of them are adults. They would not, calm down in someone's house. And so they're feral cats. They're outdoor cats. So they have an Amazon list that you can buy food to help feed their feral cats. And they have a donation link that you can help pay to spay and neuter these cats, so that there's not just a continuously expanding feral cat population on their property. So they'll capture the cats and they'll get them spayed and neutered. But they do have some that would rather not be spayed or neutered. So they do have kittens.
Who's choosing that?
If they don't allow themselves to get captured.
I think if they knew what was about to happen, there's no way they would get.
Well, so exactly.
Like, nice little loving home we're going to go to.
Well, they're feral cats. They don't want to go into a loving home. So when they have kittens, they will bring them in and they will care for them. They will get them spayed and neutered, the kittens, because those are easier to catch.
How big is this property?
I don't know, but there's a lot of cats. She's got a spreadsheet.
I'll tell you what, feral cats, in my opinion, are the most delicious cat.
I will not make a joke about Springfield, Ohio. So they raise money. They raise money to help them take care of these cats that are on their property so that they can live out their days, but try and minimize the number of babies that come into the world. They do adopt out the baby kittens that are nice to humans, and they'll bring them into the house. They'll kind of test out their temperament. And if they enjoy being couch cats, then they'll adopt them out to friends. So I followed this whole journey over the course of the past few years.
People are much nicer than me.
I know they are.
So way nicer.
What I'm saying is you can still take in money. This is not their job. They have jobs, but they do take in money to help them care for these cats.
There was a point to this whole story?
There was. Oh. So this couple in New York,
yes,
it's called The Weave. Donald Trump talked about it on Joe Rogan.
Like the hair extensions?
Mm-mm.
Oh, different.
Conversation. You weave around the story, but you always come back to the point.
Oh, so I weave, but then I'm gone.
Dude, your ADD is killing me today. Sorry. All right. So the couple up in New York, I've had a lot of ADD experiences today. This couple up in New York, amateur wildlife rescuers. This is not their full-time job, but they do it out of the goodness of their heart.
No pounce.
So they had a baby squirrel that they have raised for the past 7 years. This squirrel was the mascot for their fundraising organization. And so he had, I think it was 1 million followers on Instagram. Ridiculous. And so this helped them take care of these animals that could not be released in the wild. Because like this squirrel came to them as a baby that needed support. It wasn't weaned yet. And so they bottle raised this baby squirrel. And this squirrel is internet famous. And so people would donate to their rescue efforts as a result of this squirrel. Well, some heartless person made a complaint against this couple. Is it you?
Not me.
Was it you?
Not me.
Made a complaint against this couple because they had the squirrel, because they didn't like that the squirrel was in captivity, is the story that I got. Okay. And so they wanted the squirrel freed because they're...
Who do you call for that?
You call the state wildlife agency.
Okay.
And so animal control came with police to this couple's house. They had a flippin' search warrant.
This is like the first, there's no like letters or like a
No.
warm up? Like they've tried some stuff.
They
and got
pulled this
rejected?
couple. They
This is
pulled
the
this
first-
family out of the house for 6 hours while they
For a
searched this
squirrel?
house for
For a squirrel with 1 million followers that you know exists already.
For wildlife violations.
Okay.
So the squirrel was taken. The raccoon was taken.
I don't think you need a permit for a squirrel. I don't think they're
In New York, you evidently do. And so they have taken in lots of wildlife. I guess they didn't have their paperwork for a squirrel and a raccoon. So those were the only animals taken.
Squirrel's another delicious meal.
I have never had it. I've heard they're high in cholesterol, though.
I don't
Christmas Vacation.
know. Oh,
Anyone get the Christmas Vacation reference? So they claim that the squirrel and the raccoon bit officers. So they immediately killed them to send their heads off for rabies tests.
okay.
I wonder if there were any vet records that could have shown any sort of vaccination. Maybe you just give the police officer the shots.
You know,
Because I'm pretty sure they had to get the shots anyway.
you can know a rabid animal.
Yeah.
I mean, they act very different.
So they
And they're
offed
usually
the squirrel and the raccoon.
not in captivity at a rescue. My experience, if you're getting an animal out of a cage in captivity, it's not usually rabid,
Yes.
especially when it's been there for 7 years.
Yes. So we've
But what do
got
I
some.
know? I am just an amateur cat wrangler.
Barbara Jean says, save the squirrel and their nuts. Barbara Jean's always looking out for both the sides of the story. So what my question is why did this little internet famous squirrel pose such a threat to New Yorkers that there was a legit raid on these people's house?
Probably more defiance related than animal related.
It's insane.
Do as we say or else.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it was. It was they had broken a regulation. Someone made a complaint. I really wonder if the eco warrior that needed Peanut to live in the wilderness is pleased with themselves for destroying this unreleasable animal's life.
Yeah. I blame them less than the actual overreach of policing authority that took place. Which that has happened.
So
that has happened more.
the police were following the law, evidently, because they didn't have their paperwork in order for a squirrel.
You know, that's a cover.
I feel like
I mean, they hide behind that kind of stuff. So I am
There's-
super pro police, but like, there's been a few stories of this kind of stuff of like some super overreach with some of these organizations that start with 3 letters.
it's yes, especially in New
where
York.
they're going in and killing people.
Yeah.
Over stupid reasons. And like,
Yeah.
that's just like you said, it was like they're going in like full force on a very minor issue. And that's like the first thing. This isn't like a Waco situation where there's like a standoff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These
Sounds like you're
people-
almost better off with the standoff.
These people
there's
were
a higher success rate.
cooperating. Like the animal, they talked about how delayed New York State, Bobby. They talked about how delayed the animals on their property getting fed was because they were like being held, not like arrested, but they were being held under supervision. They couldn't use the bathroom without a police escort to their very own bathroom that they own. It's insane. Meanwhile, in completely unrelated news,
Good job, New York.
have you heard about Tren de Aragua?
I can't even pronounce it.
Tren de Aragua is a gang of baby-faced thugs that
From
have
Costa Rica?
I think it's Venezuela, actually. Are you familiar? You've got a little PTSD with armed thugs. I'm sorry.
Bad experience.
So the New York Post describes them as a brutal crew of baby-faced Tren de Araguan migrant gangbangers in a city-funded Manhattan shelter are pulling off armed robberies in Times Square, and they're getting away with it.
No accountability.
So you can't rehab and allow a squirrel to live out its natural life inside your house because show me your papers. But we're funding the what is it? The stay or food. We're funding the existence of gang members that are now robbing people at gunpoint in Times Square. So nearly
Which is surprising because there's I mean, we've all been to Times Square. Well, a lot of us have been to Times Square.
I
There's
enjoyed.
a good police presence in Times Square.
There used to be. I haven't been since De Blasio was the mayor.
I was there in 2020, so early 2020, before COVID. So you're right. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
Post
COVID. So
which also was a post-police revolution.
What I've heard is Times Square is less Giuliani's Times Square and more of like Trading Places era Times Square now.
Great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie. So New York Post continues, nearly 24 young migrant thugs, some as young as 11 years old, are part of a dangerous asylum-seeking brat pack that has graduated from purse snatchings to gunpoint heists targeting New Yorkers and tourists alike. Top NYPD official has gone on record with the Post describing this. So this is going on as a result of lenient criminal justice laws. Detective Bureau Assistant Jason Savino says, Assistant Chief, sorry.
Do you mean when there's no accountability for committing crimes, that crime might increase?
Weird, right?
Stop it.
That cause and effect is insane. But we definitely have all of those amateur squirrel rescuers taken care of.
Now, to be fair, these are different divisions. Different enforcement agencies, but yeah.
New York, what are you doing? I mean,
I wish you could say that's limited to New York.
Don't invite Kamala Harris on SNL. It's tragic. If you're going to do it, then you should invite Trump on so there's equal time. All right, we're going to talk about celebrity endorsements. I even did research on this, but maybe we can talk
hockey on your computer?
No, that's an ad that's auto playing. I did research. I found cost of living numbers on this because Cardi B did you hear her endorse Kamala Harris?
No.
Oh, my word.
Is it good? It's
fingernails on a chalkboard. All right, so I painstakingly listened to this to transcribe her endorsement at Kamala's rally.
Okay. Is it in song or is it?
No, she spoke.
Okay.
She said, I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate. She's compassionate. She shows empathy. And most of all, she is not delusional, says Cardi B.
Awesome.
People clapped for she's not delusional. So she just stood there saying, yeah.
Paid to clap.
Yeah, is what she said until they quieted down. And then she continued. She doesn't say it properly. So this is the way she said it. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me, says the millionaire.
4 more years. 4 more years.
I mean, Trump should just play this as an ad. I approve this message. So she continues. I believe her when she says that under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank because she gonna pass a ban on price gouging on groceries. And she told me that to my face. So she better not lie to me to my face. That's what she said. So I was curious because she mentioned the price of eggs and the price of milk specifically. So, do you have a guess as to what the average price of eggs 2017 and 2020 was? You had chickens during that time, so you probably don't know this. Do you want to take a guess?
In
2017 to 2020.
For what, a 12
So
pack?
during Trump's administration.
Well, now we talking the brown eggs, the cage freeze. We talking about
average
the just
price
regular
of eggs.
grocery store. $2 a dozen.
It was, are you ready? $2017 to 2020. It was $1.53.
I was 30 cents off.
You would round up.
40
I mean,
cents.
math rules. It's over 5, so you would round up.
$1.89.
So, 153.
Okay.
You want to take a guess what 2021 to 2023 a dozen eggs cost in this country?
In a 2-year spread? And we just pick one.
So, how about I say during the Trump administration, eggs were $1.53.
So
during the Biden-Harris administration.
Here's where I push back against some of it. So some of that with the Trump was COVID created that weird little decline, like in fuel. Because
I've got the year-on-year price.
Well, so when people talk about like $1.70 fuel, stuff like that, I mean, that wasn't at the beginning of his president. That was COVID driven. So you got to take that out of the equation.
Hold on.
But 2019 works. early 2020 works.
Hold on. You're gonna blow your argument completely out of the water. You ready? All right. 2017, it was 147.
For what?
For a dozen eggs in Trump's administration.
You so this is where $1.53.
That's the average for his 4 years. So this is the breakdown year to year, because you said that 2020 can't be counted in his administration.
No, I said some people skew that number and they pick like the bottom of gas prices.
So I'm giving you year to year.
That was COVID driven.
So I'm giving you year to year. 2017 was 147. 2018 was 174. 2019 was 140. And 2020 was 151.
Okay.
So it was middle of the road price in 2020.
And now we're
under
at
the
like
Trump's administration.
$4.
So what do you think average price of eggs over the Biden-Harris administration over the 4 years is?
$3.89.
It's not that bad. It's $2.58.
Oh, really?
So
where are you all getting these eggs from?
It's a Costco. So, but the year over year it's pretty wild, because not only was there the terrible policies, it was also, yes, Bobby, she did pronounce all those big words. But there was also like chicken flu situation that chicken farmers said was mishandled because of how eggs didn't have to get as expensive. So it did get up to $5 at one point, but it didn't stay there for long.
I feel like the eggs we buy are stupid expensive. I'm about to get chickens again.
We stopped getting organic eggs because we couldn't afford to.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of eggs in my house, and we couldn't go through, like, we get those, I think it's 72 egg boxes.
Eggs,
yeah. So, because we couldn't afford the organic eggs anymore. Sorry, RFK.
Wah, wah, wah.
Vote for Trump so I can eat organic eggs again. All right. So she mentioned milk as well.
Yeah, have your own chickens.
All right.
Self-sufficiency is going to be the next.
That is beautiful, but as you found out, our neighborhood doesn't allow chickens.
You want to bet? Someone's done it.
All right, milk during Trump administration. Average price over the 4 years.
We milk our own cats, so
yeah,
I never really paid attention.
You can milk anything with nipples.
Can you milk me, Greg?
I'm not going to try. Talk to your wife.
All right, milk. What was milk? I'd say same thing as eggs, $1.89.
Nah, $3.13. Under the Trump administration, a gallon of milk was $3.13.
I don't do the grocery shopping.
Biden-Harris administration, where do you think it is now? Milk.
It's $4 a gallon.
Almost. It's $3.91. Yeah.
Okay.
So just so Cardi B knows,
25%.
Just so Cardi B knows, if she thinks that groceries cost too much now, she might want to check which stage she's on, because she's on the wrong effing stage, is what I'm telling you.
Years.
Good gracious, Cardi B.
Well, when you start with, I believe this politician, every word that comes out of their mouth is true.
That should completely discount you.
Every single Republican, every single Democrat, believe any other position.
Don't believe all 100% of the words that come out anybody's mouth. Hyperbole is a thing. Exaggeration is a thing. Like, even the most honest person on the planet is still going to exaggerate when they tell a story.
Not me.
Never. All right. We haven't done 5 questions in a while, so I figured we would do that. Are you a Christmas decor on November 1st kind of guy?
That is blasphemy. Thanksgiving deserves its season. Fall deserves its season. Mm-hmm. Quit skipping that. Also, the Halloween decor, kind of like it, so you can leave that up a little longer.
It's your birthday party decorations, right?
Yeah, stop taking them down an hour after we celebrate.
So normally I'm team Christmas doesn't start until Thanksgiving is over. We're traveling this year.
Okay.
And so Christmas would never happen if we waited until we got back from our trip.
Okay.
And so we started putting up our decorations.
That's sad.
All of those decorations that were your party decorations, they're gone. They're all packed up.
So I can throw a party at your house?
I hope not.
One of these dates.
I hope not. All right. So Santa gifts. Did you get Santa gifts as a child?
I never give Santa any gifts.
Did you get Santa gifts
yes, we did
as a child?
Get them. I did.
You did get them? Okay.
I was a good kid most of the time.
So what I found as a child was that Santa didn't give gifts the same way for everybody.
Well, yeah.
So my Santa gifts were unwrapped. And I never thought to ask how anyone else's Santa gifts showed up
Sure.
until I was at a friend's house and she already had Santa gifts under her tree wrapped with gift tags from Santa. And I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, that's weird.
That was a crack in the belief for me. Just saying.
Nancy Drew over here.
What do we get? Like, does Santa give unwrapped gifts in your household? Or does he give wrapped gifts in your household?
Wrapped, but they don't show up until he comes down the chimney. So it also depends on what to get. Like if it's super, so I'm thinking now growing up, the big stuff didn't get wrapped, obviously.
Okay.
Like if it was a bike or a like a basketball, like my brother got like a basketball thing once.
Basketball hoop.
Like
we call that a hoop.
But it was like mini basketball. It was almost like a cheap
Little
version,
tykes?
like a plastic version of the like the arcade games with a couple hoops, and you shoot and it comes back to you. Shoot again, it comes back to you.
All right. Like the practice.
Like that's a lot of wrapping paper.
It is.
It's a lot of wrapping paper.
You can't afford the gift if you buy all that wrapping paper.
Right. I remember no man. So my stepdad was obviously Santa, and he just passed away. So that's why it's a sad subject. But he's like, I have to stay up all night putting this thing together, and Santa's getting the credit. Like, can we just tell him it was me yet?
So that's part of the story of Santa, because it's giving without receiving any credit.
Fair.
And so that's part of it pointing to the gospel. So you got mostly wrapped. Big gifts were unwrapped.
Big gifts were unwrapped. Yeah,
the rest
but
of them
in
were...
our like the way we do it now is Santa's gifts are delivered wrapped because elves have
got to keep them employed.
People. Yeah, they're good at wrapping too.
Yeah,
as long as it wasn't outsourced to any redheaded elves. In which case
are there redheaded elves?
Terrible terrible at wrapping.
So all of my Santa gifts were unwrapped, and
showed up Christmas morning.
Showed up Christmas morning unwrapped. Yeah. So they showed up.
Have you ever gotten
when
coal?
Have
you ever gotten coal?
Coal?
Yeah.
Not legit coal. I've gotten the coal candy in my stocking as a joke.
Yeah. I started to wonder.
I've always been a very good child, so I didn't get coal.
That's how I feel I was. But there were some times where I knew I wasn't that great. I was like, I think I figured out how to game the system because I'm never actually getting coal.
Yeah.
And none of my friends are getting coal, and some of those kids are not good. So,
that's again
on a naughty list for sure.
Message of grace. I mean, yes, you're expected to be a good little boy, good little girl, but there is an element of grace.
And if there's no accountability, we can get away with it more. We just had this discussion just a few minutes ago.
That is
true. If you don't police it.
All right, I've got a very controversial for everyone. You ready? You're going to have to look on my computer. They can see on their screens. All right, so boomers say people are too sensitive and need to toughen up. Millennials say people need to care more and help each other out. Gen X says Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It's definitely a Christmas movie.
So Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
I don't know what generation I am, though.
You're a millennial.
Okay.
I'm an elder millennial. I just barely made it into millennial status.
Such wisdom.
I identify more as Gen X because all the cool kids I hung out with were Gen X. I'm right on the cusp. I'm the first year
I agree
of
with the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
For sure.
Bobby says he got a WNBA set. Lower basketball hoop and the ball comes right back to you.
Oh.
All right.
That's for the fan to decide.
It's for the fan. Well, I mean, it's very popular. It's very popular.
Have you never seen that Family Guy clip of
No.
the WNBA? Oh my gosh. Google that.
Okay.
So funny.
It'll be much more enjoyable than SNL with Kamala Harris. I'll tell you that right now. All right. So what do we think, guys? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I am inclined to say that it is.
Yeah, it's on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Well, it's not on Christmas Day. Isn't it Christmas Eve? It's a Christmas party on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. It's 100% about Christmas.
It's an integral part of the storyline, so I say that's a Christmas movie.
And he puts on a Christmas hat.
Ho, ho, ho.
Don't call me that.
Who you calling a ho? So Bobby agrees. He's a boomer, and he agrees that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So
yeah, because what else would be the definition of a Christmas movie?
Well, some say that it isn't an integral part of the story.
It's the core component of the story.
Well, the core component is the hostage situation.
What hostage situation?
So some
I only
say
remember the
that
Christmas tree.
the Christmas party is an incidental, like, plot element, and that it's a hostage action movie.
Integral plot element.
All right.
I don't know. We're starting to say words. Might have to Google some
You're
of these.
guessing now?
I'm gonna ask Jeeves.
You're just guessing. Ask Jeeves would probably be more reliable than Google. Does that still work?
For sure.
I want to know. I tried.
Ask Jeeves is definitely going to be on there. What's the new one? DuckGo?
DuckDuckGo, that's a search engine, yeah. Ask
what do you think
Jeeves.
Google is? That is a search engine.
Well, it's not a search engine. It's a web browser.
Yahoo.
Which is what Chrome is. Chrome is a web browser, and so is DuckDuckGo. And then there's a search feature on Chrome, which is Google. Okay. And there's a search feature on DuckDuckGo. I don't know what it's called.
Quack.
Sure. Ask Jeeves is ask.com. It's no longer Ask Jeeves.
Oh, I remember ask.com. Yeah. Gosh, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I mean, it doesn't look crummy. I just miss Jeeves.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
He was a good guy. R.I.P. Jeeves. Justice for Jeeves. Get cut in the rebranding.
That wasn't that controversial.
All right.
What's the third?
Well, it's not controversial to you. Some people might.
Well, those people are wrong.
All right. Favorite anniversary gift. Do you have a favorite anniversary gift?
I literally cannot remember a single one I've received or given. So
wow.
I am not a gift person, though. Like, gifts mean very little to me.
Clearly, because I got you cupcakes and you just talk trash all about them for like 10 minutes.
Store-bought.
I know.
With food dye in the icing. Golly.
So there's the whole idea of giving anniversary gifts by the year. Did you guys ever do that?
Nope.
So there's like the year of paper and the year of wood and the year of pottery.
We just kind of go out and have a nice time. We'll either go out on like a nice date night or a weekend, or I think that's all we really just spend good quality time with each other.
Good quality
It's usually
time.
our gift to each other.
So anniversary
maybe a little small
gifts
trinket here or there.
By year. Let's see. First anniversary is paper. That's traditional. The modern idea is clocks.
Sign this prenup.
You're too late for a prenup.
Sign this postnup.
I don't think that's a thing.
That is 100% a thing.
Second anniversary is cotton.
Oh, wow. For the Tylenol bottle, just because he gave her a headache all the time.
Wow. There he goes. But wait, third anniversary is leather.
Oh, spice things up a little bit.
There you go. All right. So what's your anniversary coming up?
Me?
Yeah.
Like 20 would be the next big one. 18, 19.
Yeah, 20 is the next big one for me. You want to know what 20 is?
What year did you get married?
2006.
Oh, it's true. Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually our 18th anniversary in a matter of days, y'all. But they don't, once you get past 10, they don't do year by year. So we already passed 15th and I didn't get no crystal. 20th will be my next big one. China. China is the traditional gift. You don't go. You give a China item, an item of China. Fine porcelain.
One of my
modern
kids,
is platinum, so you can do that.
You hear this writer story? He was like, "I'm a China in a bull shop."
Uh-huh.
He said that to us, and we're like, "What are you talking about?"
Is he dyslexic?
He's like, "It's the same thing, like bull in a China shop."
All right, we'll do the last one.
Do you know what China means? He's like, "Yeah, like a Chinese person." Like, I'm like, "Do you understand this joke?"
He does not understand.
He's like, "It's a weird joke." I'm like, "Do you know what China is?" He's like, "Yeah, someone from China." I'm like, "No, it's like a dish." He's like, "What do you mean?" So he had no clue.
Yeah,
so that's why he just flipped it around and
kids
a China
don't know
and a bull
things
shop.
the same way we knew things.
Yeah.
We got a landline at our house.
Find China anymore. So few.
I don't.
Like used
I
to
didn't
always
register
have that,
for it.
That,
I do have a hutch because I have a ridiculous amount of glassware because I traveled a lot and I would always get glass.
We didn't have China. We had wedge. Is it Wedgwood?
Yeah.
Wedgwood?
Yeah.
But it's not wood.
It's not.
Wedgwood plates, and they're probably still in the house.
They probably are. So the last one was favorite pie at Thanksgiving. What's your favorite pie at Thanksgiving?
We never covered the gifts. Apple pie, 100%.
Oh, you said you didn't remember gifts.
Well, I don't, but I need to know because one's coming up. If you're in a wedding, what do you get for the first anniversary when you're a member
Paper
of the
or clocks?
It's not
Paper.
good.
Like stationery.
Paper?
Stationery.
What a terrible gift.
Fine
If
stationery.
you give me stationery, I'm throwing it at you.
Give them a clock. One of those brass clocks that you find in the thrift store that all of our parents had when we were kids.
I'll have to overnight it. It's tomorrow.
Oh, ruh-roh.
I want to send him a text.
All right.
Congrats, dude.
A card.
Probably just sent you a gift.
A card with a gift card inside. How about that? That's paper.
No, well, it's plastic. The gift card
Depends on the gift card.
There's no such thing as a paper gift card.
There are.
There's coupons. There's codes.
You've never gotten a gift card to a restaurant or a spa that was on paper?
They're plastic.
Not all of them. Some of them are handwritten like business cards.
It's a gift certificate at that point.
No, not if it's a card.
No, it's
Not
a
if it's a
certificate.
card.
It's just a small rectangular certificate because it's paper. A card
Why do I talk to him?
would be plastic.
I don't know. What's your favorite pie at Thanksgiving?
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
Apple. And you did hear that and you remember
I
it
did
and you feel
not.
guilty now.
I feel very much like Brett Baer in the Kamala Harris interview.
Everyone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I said Apple. Very clear. Apple
You
was
said I need to talk about the gifts.
my favorite. Well, I said Apple first because it was clear.
We're just gonna have to
and
bicker
distinct.
off air, guys. My favorite pie at Thanksgiving is chocolate silk pie.
Sweet potato
It's
pie is also
delicious.
good, but apple is by far my favorite pie, especially when it's handmade. The crust is handmade.
It better
the
be
sauce is-
handmade.
Like, don't buy a pre-bought crust and dump applesauce into it. I'm not game for that. Like, you need to cut the apples, make them, steam them, make the dough, handmade. And Ryan won't do it very often for me, but
You're very high maintenance.
it's so good.
I'm sure it is.
I'm falling in love with my
Try
wife right now
making
again,
it.
thinking about it.
Try making it yourself, and then you'll find out
gosh,
why she doesn't make it that often.
We used to before kids, we would spend a lot of time in the kitchen together,
Maybe you should do that.
mostly making out, but we would cook too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On occasion.
Sometimes.
On that note, before he goes off on that tangent, thank you guys for joining us, for us bickering together, talking about things in the headlines.
It was fun.
And don't rat people out for taking care of animals. That's just being a jerk. All right, you guys have a good night. We've got a great week of shows. Davey is going to be on with me tomorrow with a great guest. We have a great conversation planned for Wednesday, assuming the world doesn't burn down before that. We're going to have a great week. Bye, guys.